All right, guys, welcome to another episode of 40 and Fits. What number are we on now? 25?
Yeah.
25, season 2, episode 3? 4?
4, 5.
5. Oh, 5. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 20. I thought you had 22 in the other
So
one.
this would actually be episode 26.
26.
Total.
This is kind of crazy. This is
No
less
one
than a
told
year.
me we would be doing long division and math, and this.
That's messed up because I'm Asian. I should be able to do that
You should.
instantly.
Where's your abacus?
What is there? It's called a Pixel 2 phone. That's what it is. But, so my name is John Baruch. I am the leader of the cult today. And to my right, we have Dave Kamali.
Drinking my cult Kool-Aid juice.
Cult Kool-Aid. It's good stuff. We have a very special guest today. To my left is the Magician. You'll be seeing him soon. You'll know who he is. He's up and coming. We're about to blow this guy up. His name is Nick the Magician Padilla. Padilla? Padilla.
Padilla.
Padilla. Okay, that's cool. What
He's
is
not
that?
Spanish enough for Padilla.
I was gonna ask. I was like, we don't roll the L's. We don't. It's not silent. What is it? Is it Jewish?
Do you want to know the story?
I would love. You have a story for your
Wanna know
name.
the story?
Never heard this
Yeah.
one yet. Oh, go ahead. Go for
It's
it.
not exactly a story for the name. It's just a story.
story. Oh, a random story. That's cool. Go for it.
A priest
This sounds like a really dirty joke already.
and a prostitute.
There you go.
Priest and prostitute met,
That's my every Sunday.
had a kid, left them on the porch of a Spanish family in Naples, Italy, and that kid was like my great-great-great-great-grandfather.
I thought you was going to say that was you. I
No,
was like,
no.
holy crap. I was like, what breaking news right now? I was like, oh my God, your mom's a priest, your dad's a prostitute.
No.
So that's what's happened.
That's what's happened.
So how does that go back to Padilla?
Italian. Yeah,
Why couldn't we just say it was Italian? We couldn't just say it was Italian.
Why couldn't you just say he was Italian?
I was like, I don't get it. I was like, I thought it had to do with like the pedophile type of situation, but okay.
No.
So today we are not going into the 40-year-old mind as much. Usually we go into that to go through midlife crisis situations and stuff like that, and just
And
the
life crisis can
life crisis,
hit at any time.
business stuff like that. But today this was kind of a short notice type of situation where we just asked Nick to do it today because we had a little meeting. But I think that it was pretty good to bring him on because I do believe in him as a product. So just a little background
you.
from where I'm coming from for this. I met Nick at the front desk of the other gym that is never to be known or spoken of again.
The gym who shall not be
Yeah,
named.
the undisclosed gym in which Mike Hoban is still working at. Apparently, Mike, you're
I
fired.
don't even know if he's actually working right now. He may just be chained up.
I
not
know.
allowed to
And
go.
He's. Oh, I think he's actually at the Mawa location. It's funny.
Mike, Beard Mike.
Yeah, Mike is our other co-host.
Mike,
Yeah. Mike is a different guy. You already know this part.
On all videos going forward,
Yeah.
I want Mike, Beard Mike under him.
That's his name. That's his new IG handle. Mike. Just so you know that part. So, like I was saying, we met Nick at the front desk of the gym at the other gym, and I was introduced to him as Nick the Magician.
But he was an employee or a member?
Front desk employee, and that's right. You never saw him when we were over there at all because he's only the morning guy.
Okay.
He's the opener. This guy wakes up at 5.
I wake up at 4 and then I get there at 5.
Nice.
I wake up at 4, I hit the button like 5 times and then I go.
And the snooze as well.
The cool. That's cool. See where it goes? I told you it's raw. It doesn't matter. Say whatever you want. Nick, I asked him this. No, the first question I asked you was, what's the difference between a wizard and a warlock?
Sorcerer?
The first question John ever asked me was, what's the difference between a wizard and a warlock?
It's like, that should be pretty easy.
I can't even remember what I said.
He said one wears a hat.
Wizard.
So is that
Right?
true? I don't know.
I feel like a warlock is just going to wear a hooded cloak and have some kind of evil scepter with a
what the wizard
magic
would?
glass ball on the top.
See, I should have asked you because that was
Valid
really
point.
dope.
I feel like the warlock is evil.
Yes.
And the wizard is kind.
Oh, I never went there.
Yeah.
Dave just got real deep. Now I'm at a loss for words.
That's what I love when they say that.
now I'm done. Like I'm, I'm done. I'm tapping out for the night. That's it, guys. But yeah, so that was the question. Dave obviously answered it correctly, and
I don't know if that's correct. It's
But
just
you sounded so confident. Holy crap! He didn't sound confident at all, but we still believed him. It was great. I was like, all right, that's cool. He wears a hat. That
It was a
gonna
nice
go.
moment. I remember it.
I remember that too. I was like, oh wow, that was cool. Like for some reason, I thought you would know that because you're a magician. That was very messed up of me to say, but that's the way it went. But then I asked, I did want to see some tricks, and I wanted to see how good you really were. And where did we get that deck of cards? It was like a messed up deck of cards, I believe. It was like missing cards also.
It was like I think Lori went into the bed. Laura.
Oh yeah.
Laura.
Oh, we were-
Kind, sweet Laura. Went into the
Who no longer works. No longer works.
but clearly definitely not a warlock then if she's kind and sweet.
No, yeah, not a warlock.
No, there's a
good.
witch over there now, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
definite witch. But kind and sweet Laura went into the back and got the shittiest deck of cards I've ever seen in my life, and gave it to me, and I showed you magic, and it was nice.
Yeah. No, I was very impressed by that.
I'm curious. Does the quality of a deck or anything, can it be missing cards that you don't know about and you can still do what you need to do?
Sometimes.
Okay.
It depends. Like if it's. No, yeah, I could do a trick with like 4 cards.
All right.
So.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I like that.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, oh, they must use special shit.
Yeah.
You just so happen to have a 4-card deck.
Who wins in that game? But yeah, so he showed me a trick. I was impressed because, again, I play poker a lot, and I understand the certain way to handle a deck of cards. They call it the mechanic's grip. And I saw how well he held it.
You called out my
I
mechanics.
did. I could. I was like, wow, that was really quick.
When
And I've
somebody
seen
calls out a mechanic's grip, you know they know what's up.
Yeah, so that's why I'm always watching the hands. But I was very impressed because I couldn't catch it. Like Dave, the other guy who tries to do tricks, I catch him all the time. I'm like, dude, it's like I could look at the card right now. But because of that, I got more interested in what Nick can do, and he really impressed me. So at a certain point, this is where I was like, we could use you. We could use you in so many different ways, and you could make more money. Like, why aren't you doing this?
Like fudging the sheets, the books.
Almost. With the deck of cards, with 4 cards.
I don't know. I'm not sure what the extent of his powers are.
Well, you get to see it. He's a warlock or a wizard. I mean, he's not Harry Potter over here.
Listen,
Come on.
all I'm saying is that sometimes you just got to shoot for the stars.
Right.
That's
Well,
it.
you know, he could also be Doctor Strange.
Real quick, check your pocket.
Which
Oh,
one?
wow.
I've got many.
Front pocket. Nah, I'm fucking with you.
I was about to say, I was like, what just happened?
Oh, I got so excited.
Yeah. He's like, what's in your pocket?
My pockets were checking themselves.
But yeah, so I just got really curious into Nick, your past. So take us through real quick, bro. Like, where did you start? Why magic? Where does this come from?
When I was 6, my dad showed me a card trick. I loved it. When I was 10, he took me to a magic shop. Got like 5 tricks, whatever. When I was 14, I saw Chris Angel on TV, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
Chris Angel.
Chris Angel.
Huh.
Chris Angel
Can you
got
do
me.
his tricks now?
Some of them.
I don't like him as much as David Blaine.
How come?
I haven't seen, and admittedly, I haven't seen a lot of Chris Angel, but I feel he does most of the physical endurance stuff.
Yeah.
And I like to see more of the tricks.
Well, I think David Blaine does a lot of the physical.
He
endurance
does,
stuff.
but I feel like
he
I've
practices all that
I've
other
seen
weird stuff.
I've seen more of Blaine's, more of his stuff like on the street and hanging out with people. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Chris Angel. No, I saw David Blaine on TV when I was like 10. Loved it. Found Chris Angel. Was obsessed with Chris Angel. Had my hair like Chris Angel. Like, didn't like David Blaine. Thought Chris Angel was the best. Couldn't tell me shit. And then I got older, and I was like, oh no, Blaine's the shit. Blaine.
Why? What made him?
Because I rewatched all the old Chris Angel stuff.
Yeah.
And in a 30-minute episode of Chris Angel Mind Freak, which was his
I
TV
remember that
show,
one. Yeah, I remember that
you
one.
had 4 or 5 tricks. And the rest was just talking and just talking about the tricks, talking about Chris Angel, talking about just leading up to one big thing. David Blaine, you got trick after trick after trick after trick after trick after whatever, and it's all stuff that can be traced back and found. A lot of Chris Angel stuff is just too out there to be a realistic performance that I could do for you right now. You could call out a trick David Blaine did, and half the time I'd be like, oh, I'll show you right now. But Chris Angel, you could call out something that he did.
You have to set it up.
If I had a TV show and a budget, I could do that once, get it on film, and then never do it again. A lot of Blaine stuff is just very, like, it's stuff you can...
It's a lot of up close stuff.
Yeah.
Like right in front of you. Like, how do you...
I feel he legit just gets on the street, points to people, and is like, let's do this.
Right. Right.
And just starts ripping stuff out.
So that's where, just there's what you brought in front of me. I was like, that's what it reminded me of. The whole David Blaine in your face. I was like, okay, I couldn't catch it.
Yeah.
And not to toot my own horn, I'm pretty smart, but I'm like, I couldn't catch it. I was like, wow, I felt stupid. So the fact that I feel stupid for myself, I was just like, that's good.
Thanks, man.
That's really good. So then you're 14, you realize David Blaine's the real deal type of situation. Where do you go from there?
I was 14. I went to school every day with a deck of cards, showing everybody magic, doing my thing. I told this story before. Went up to a girl at lunch, made a card appear in a can. Everybody knew me from that day. My one story I love telling. My buddy Monty, who's my friend now, who I didn't know when he came up to me when he was a junior and I was a freshman, he comes up to me and he's like, I heard you do magic. Show me a trick. And I'm like a good kid at that point. Like, I was a good kid. I don't know what happened, but like, I was a good kid. And I was like, oh, I have to go to class. Meet me in the upstairs boys' bathroom at 1:45, and I'll show you a magic trick.
So prompt.
There was a girl.
In the boys' bathroom?
At 1:45.
There was a girl who notoriously had relations with the whole hockey team, right? I go to the upstairs boys' bathroom at 1:45.
Oh, boy.
And there is 30 guys in the bathroom waiting to see a magic show. I look in the stall, and out walks this chick in a hoodie, and it was the girl who notoriously had relations with the entire hockey team. So
She was wearing all 30 of their hoodies, too. By the way.
I do like one trick. The dean of students comes in.
Oh.
He busts the whole thing. We all scatter. It was weird. I get called down to the office at the end of the day, and they're like, you want to explain to us what was going on today? And I was like, I just wanted to do, and they're like, what do you mean magic? Like, magic? Like, what does that mean? So I took a deck of cards out of my pocket, and I was like, pick a card. And they're like, wait, you were doing magic tricks? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, actual, like, magic tricks. And I was like, yeah. So
Did I stutter?
so they didn't hear that there was 30 guys and a girl to see me perform magic. They heard that 30 guys and the most notorious girl in school were in the bathroom to see a magic show, and I was responsible. From that day on, everybody knew me. Everybody knew me.
So, wow.
So after that, I would go to school and just show people. Like, I didn't give a shit about school. Like, I would just go to school and show people magic tricks. So all of high school, I wasn't allowed to walk at graduation.
Wow.
I wasn't allowed to park at school when I was a senior. I wasn't allowed to go off campus for lunch because every time I got caught with a deck of cards, I would get a Saturday detention. And eventually all those Saturdays added up, and there were too many Saturdays left in the year for me to, like, I had like 15 Saturdays or whatever. And yeah, I wasn't allowed to walk. I wasn't allowed to all that because I did magic. I graduate.
What year is this?
2010.
There's like a hell of a lot worse things this kid could have been doing. Like,
Yeah.
keep him from graduating. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. I graduated. I went to Florida, lived with my grandpa for like a month. Came back upstate, went to college at SUNY Sullivan, which is a community college in the middle of upstate New York that had
Which part of upstate New York?
Sullivan County,
That
I
sounds
don't, I don't
fun.
even know where Sullivan County is.
in a town called Loch Sheldrake.
That sounds close to Canada.
Is it close to Buffalo or more close to like Ithaca?
Ithaca.
Ithaca. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a ride.
Yeah, it's like 8 hours away.
So I went up to school. Kind of was interested in my major, not really. I just showed everybody magic, and I was just
He's just doing magic the whole time.
Yeah. I
Okay.
was just Magic Man. And after that, I left school, ran away to California, did magic on the street, ran back home. It was all over girls. It was stupid.
You
And
literally went to California.
I ran away to California because
You took a plane or you took a bus? Rode a bike.
Magic carpet.
Aladdin.
took a bus.
Took a bus. 3-day bus.
It was, yeah,
Yeah, it's brutal. Sucks.
yeah.
You've done it?
Not to Canada. Not to California.
Not to Canada.
I've taken a 2-day trip to South Carolina. I was like, that's 600 miles. Why does it take you 2 days to get there?
You gotta stop at all. the
Yeah, you
different
stop it
places.
everywhere. I'm like, this is brutal. I ran out of batteries in my Walkman.
You meet some great people along the way.
Sometimes. Bored. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But go ahead. So, yeah.
Ran away to California, came back
How long were you in California for?
2 months.
That's it. Where were you staying?
I stayed in motels. I stayed on the street. I was homeless in California doing magic on the street. Yeah. I've had a crazy life. Like, nutty.
Wow. Really?
Yes. Yes.
Did people pay you when you did
Yes.
would do tricks?
Yeah, that's how I made my money. Homeless in California, doing magic on the street. I come back home for 6 months. I worked at a pawn shop holding a sign outside their door, like by the highway. Wasn't doing anything.
Were you even flipping the sign like those cool
I
guys?
flipped it.
You flipped it? All right. Professional.
Me and my buddy look at each other and we're like, fuck this. Let's go to Florida. So we go to Florida, and I'm living in Daytona Beach, and I get a job as soon as I get out there, flipping a sign. I get a job as soon as I get out there. Every day I would make a right, go to work, make a right, go to work, make a right, go to work. One day I get a day off, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a left. So I make a left, and I had been staying for 3 months at this place, not knowing that there was a magic shop a block down the road.
Wow.
I go into the shop, I get the job. They're like, are you cool with traveling? Because we travel a lot. I'm like, hell yeah. We traveled the whole country going to magic conventions, selling people magic. I worked for a company called Daytona Magic, and I will tell this story because I don't care. I quit that job because my boss sexually harassed me. So he
At the magic shop.
at the magic shop, old dude, pretended to drop a pen one time. I went to go pick it up, and he grabbed my ass. And then he's like, nah, for real, please pick the pen up. And I was like, okay. And I did it, and he did it again. And then the next day, he asked me to reach into something, into his bag. He did it again. So I was like, fuck this.
Dude.
Yeah. I taped my key to the back of the time card. I left. I came back up here, went back down to Florida just to live by the beach. One day, my buddy sends me an email and says that Phantasma, the premier magic company in New York City, is hiring demo guys for Toys R Us Times Square. So on a whim, because I didn't like where I was living at, I drove my van up to New York, got the job at Toys R Us Times Square selling magic kits, sold 12 kits my first day. It just so happened that the main guy at the magic shop quit. So my boss looked at me and he's like, we want to put you in the shop full time. That was 2015. Everything changed after that. I worked in the shop for a year, breaking my balls just to get my foot in the door. And then 2016 is when I got all my like television and film gigs and shit. My first one was with VH1. My second one, I don't remember actually, but
Can we find that VH1 on the like YouTube or something?
it's. You ever heard the song "This Is Gonna Be the Best Day of My Life"?
Yeah.
That guy, Zach Barnett, did the top 20 countdown for VH1 that week. So he came in and he did a bunch of magic tricks and whatnot, and I was the consultant that taught him how to do all the tricks.
Wow.
Yeah. After that, my main one that I got, like my favorite one, the best one, there's a show on Amazon Prime called Sneaky Pete.
Yeah.
Anytime you watch Sneaky Pete, you've seen Sneaky Pete?
Giovanni.
Bro, anytime you watch Sneaky Pete, if you see magic, it's my hands. Yeah.
Is that show still going on?
No. No. But you go. I think you find it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. I watched the series. I binge watched it.
Yeah. So I was Giovanni Ribisi's hand double. I was this guy Michael Dreyer's hand double. I got to work with Bryan Cranston. It was fucking awesome. Yeah.
Cranston, really?
I got to work with him like 3 or 4
Walter
times.
White.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was in Brooklyn one day just dealing cards, looking Bryan Cranston in the face. It was so sick. After that, I got Master of None with Aziz Ansari on, you know the show?
Yeah.
The cupcake episode.
Yeah.
Smashes Cedric the Entertainer smashes his hand into I was a consultant on that. I don't know, but from 2015 to 2019, 2015 to 2020, I lived and worked doing magic every day in the city. It was the best. That's my
Where'd you
story.
live in the city?
Manhattan, Astoria, the Bronx.
You had roommates, or you were just?
I had roommates.
You were just traveling.
Shout out my best friend Rob. The first year I lived in the city, he lived on the 58th floor of a skyscraper in Manhattan, and he let me pay my rent and cleaning. So I lived in pretty much a penthouse, just cleaned.
Rob, I have my own mop and vacuum if you're interested.
But yeah,
So wow. All right. So 2020. So you're doing great. You're out there.
Is it
You're
still
doing your
working
thing.
for Phantasma?
yeah,
Okay.
And then 2020 hits.
Yeah.
So what happens obviously this is the COVID situation, right? So what actually happened at that time? Like, everything just shut down for you? Like, or was it a slow, did you know it was coming?
yeah. I knew it was coming. We knew it was coming, and like problems with the building we were in, and like
Okay.
all sorts of stuff just kind of hit at the same time. So just slowly every day we would just like start packing up, and like we didn't want to admit that it was happening, but like we're like, yeah, we gotta start packing.
So where's all that stuff now?
My old boss, I'll still call him my boss. I love the guy. He moved everything into his house. So we were a museum, a magic shop, and the #1 manufacturer of magic kits internationally. So we had accounts with Walmart, Costco, Kmart, Target, Toys R Us, and our magic sets were our bread and butter. That's how we kept the lights on. Like, you can't have a magic
What'd they
shop
go
in
for?
Manhattan. Anywhere from
Yeah, I guess different levels too, right?
yeah. Anywhere from $19.99 to $79.99.
Affordable,
Yeah.
which means you could blow a ton of them out the door probably.
Oh yeah, yeah. But like we'd get one. We did Toy Fair every year
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
Javits Center.
yeah.
It was one of my favorite memories. Doing Toy Fair every year. It's awesome. We get one deal with fucking TJ Maxx and then be set
Yeah.
for the year. You know. So like the magic kits were like the main thing.
Were you guys putting those magic kits together yourself, or you had a manufacturer?
No, we had a manufacturer
Oh,
with
okay.
distributors. We had
But you guys came up with what comes in the
yeah,
magic
yeah,
trick-
yeah. In the
magic
actual
set.
in the back of the shop, like we'd have a guy Eric. He was doing the graphic design for the kits and everything like that. And then so many magic kits. Like we'd break down all the different tricks, decide what we're gonna put into them. We put out a Rubik's Cube magic set when the Rubik's Cube thing started popping off.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so all that stuff got moved into your boss's house. Where's that now?
In Wayne, New Jersey.
Oh, it's not
Yes.
Yeah.
far. Not far, right?
Yeah, I gotta call him.
I was gonna say, why haven't you reach out to him at all?
I don't know. Just haven't.
This
Yeah.
shit, I've seen these things like all over the place.
Phantasm Magic.
So that was you.
Yeah.
That's part of you. All right, cool. So he's in Wayne. He's got all the gear and stuff like that. Do you know if he's doing anything still or no?
He's still putting magic kits out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're just not part of it.
No. And the
Would you want to be if?
Yeah.
I should call him.
Yeah.
Just say hi.
Hey, you want me to call him for you?
I'll call him.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I feel like you should have done this by now. Though.
If he can do what he does with a deck of cards, he could dial the phone.
Can he?
I
Because we've been doing this. We've been going back and forth for 2 months now. I was like, why don't we start doing this before?
But also, we were the Houdini Museum of New York, so we had all of Harry Houdini's original stuff.
Where is it? So where is that now?
He put everything in his house.
It's all Wayne.
Yeah. There's a house out there in Wayne that has all of Houdini's stuff in the basement.
Each house is about to get robbed.
Yeah.
Is it,
But it's
like
a showcase.
is it like authenticated?
Yeah.
And everything?
Yeah. All his stuff.
Oh, so we can bring that stuff to Pawn Stars.
I always
Sell it.
I always told him he should have brought something on Pawn Stars just to like as a publicity stunt. thing,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He totally would have.
Can he do magic too?
Yeah.
Is he good?
Yeah.
He probably won't hear this, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's great.
All right, so fast forward again, right? So now all the stuff is in Wayne. You have to move out of the city. That's what's happened, right? And you just had nothing else. You didn't have any gigs that you were working on.
I went upstate to work at a camp.
Oh, that's
where
right. I
they
remember
had
you
a
told me this.
Magic building. Worked up there.
Magic building.
Yeah, the whole building with magic in it. It was great. Worked up there. That ended at the end of the summer.
Of 2020.
Yeah.
Wasn't that in the middle of COVID, right?
Yeah.
And it was still open?
No, I was alone on the. You ever see The Shining?
Yeah.
It was like that. Yeah.
So you got paid
With
to
the
do
twins
what?
and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's maintenance.
Oh, I thought you were
Painting
actually
and-
doing. I thought you were doing.
No, like
magic.
they had a magic building that I was in every day doing my thing.
Yeah.
Just being a nerd in a building. But I was doing maintenance and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then after that, I worked at Amazon, and it was the most miserable experience of my life.
Really? Cliff worked at Amazon. Cliff, did you like it?
Miserable.
Miserable.
It was the most miserable experience of my life.
But like they're like the richest company in the world right now.
Yeah.
It's because for every one of these two guys, there's 10 others that don't mind being miserable for whatever
Yeah,
they get
some,
paid.
some people are stressed out. They just gotta get a job. I might just get a job at Amazon.
So I quit my job, and then the next day, I was like, I have to get a job. Like I didn't line up a job, and then it was so bad that like it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we went out for break, and I just never came back. Just like, you know what? I'm out.
Did they call you? They're like, hey, where are you?
No.
Oh. Last paycheck, you just
Yeah.
showed up on there. Okay, cool. So then you get a job at the Fountain.
The Fountain Fitness.
Right. And what did you expect that to happen? So why did we go away from magic stuff?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. So now we're at Fountain.
I needed a job.
Right.
You know.
And you were getting out of. Did you want to stay in magic, or what was going on?
Yeah.
You
No,
you
I wanted to
decided that
stay.
you
I just
wanna-
needed a job, needed a break.
Mhm.
You know.
Okay. And then now we meet, right? All of
Yeah.
a sudden it's like, all right, what are you going to do with yourself, right? That's basically what I asked. I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you working the front desk? Like,
Yeah.
like, this is a loser job, right? like you could do something better with yourself.
Yeah.
You
Real morale booster over here.
It's a reality check, man. Because I've been telling him, I'm like, bro, you're worth so much more. Like, not that there's anything wrong with the front desk at a gym because it's needed. It is the front line of the facility. You got to deal with everyone, right? 100%. Like that's the hardest job in the entire business of the health club industry. But it's like, but that's not what you do.
Yeah.
It's just not you. And every member loves you.
Thank you.
Every member is like, Nick is the best. Nick needs to get back to work. So stop doing critics, you know?
Not to put words in Nick's mouth, but I can understand why you're saying I needed a break.
No, I get that.
Because after I spent a lot of money on our band CD to put that together, thinking this producer who has platinum records was going to set up all these showcases and didn't, I got mad. Like, I love the record, it sounds great, the experience was great, but I almost felt betrayed by, shit, I love music. So there was a period of time where I didn't really write, I didn't play that much. I sold almost all my gear except for one guitar. I was left with one. Now I've got 6, and I'm on the verge of putting another record out. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
But I understand when you're just like, I may just need a break.
What do you play?
Guitar,
What kind of music?
rock.
Nice. Cool, man.
Rocking apparently a whole bunch of country-ish acoustic stuff lately. I don't know how that came about, but it's good. It's good.
He plays all over the place. You start following him.
Nice.
Where's your next gig?
I don't know.
Oh, you
The studio.
Oh,
We got
studio.
three. We got 3 songs to finish.
Oh, all right.
Sick.
So there you go. See, it works out.
Right, but sometimes is that somewhat
Yeah.
of what you were feeling? Like I just need to like stop
Take a
for a
break.
minute.
Just
Yeah.
need a breather.
Yeah.
Just need a
You
breather.
you love something, you put so much effort into it, and you don't always expect it to pay you back, but sometimes you're like, yeah, maybe it should have just like a little bit,
Yeah,
and it doesn't. And you're like, yeah, I'm gonna just leave this for a second.
Yeah.
definitely.
Totally understand that. I know exactly where you're going with that. All right, so now we're here, and I've been saying you got to go out there, do some sort of video. You're like, oh, January. And I'm
I have a thing about
He's like a New Year's resolution type of thing, and I was just like, this is so dumb.
I could do anything on January 1st. Anything. Like 2015, I drank every day. 2016, I'm like, I'm not drinking. I drank every day. Like I would get off of work, I would get a beer every day. 2016, I'm like, I'm not drinking. January 1st, didn't drink whole year. Did not have one drink all of 2016. 2017, same thing. Decided I wasn't going to do something, stopped doing it. 2018, 2019, like if it's January 1st, you know, I can do anything.
Why is it? What is it about January 1st? Like, what's the
It's a
difference?
new year, new you.
Is it?
I love January 1st.
Okay,
I
fine.
love New Year's resolutions.
All right, that's cool. Pretty old school. But that's fine. All right, that's cool. So it's New Year's resolutions for you. We said we were going to do this, right? And so, where do you want to go with this? Honestly, like my vision, and this is me. I'm not trying to impose my vision, but I see you as, like we talked about this before. He wants to walk the streets, like you said, David Blaine, and start doing tricks, right? I want to capture it raw, like just see people's faces. Which is why I wanted to introduce him to you and Andrew, and also have Cliff, because Cliff's always been involved in this whole thing. I kept saying Cliff's the guy that's gonna follow you around. He's like for like Gary V's, what's his name, D-Rock,
Yes.
right? I'm like, you just need someone to follow you around with a camera.
Just
and
a bigger
video.
D.
Yeah, just a bigger D. You got a big D there. so that's all we want. And that's what I just see. I just see that's the start of it, right? And then from there could be something bigger. I just truly believe that you have so much more. And then I saw that when you posted on Instagram the other day, was it 269 tricks?
226.
226, my bad. I overshot the
Is every
situation.
post a trick?
No.
No, he wrote down all his tricks.
Oh my
that,
God.
that he had, and then you came up with more.
I used to post on Instagram every day. Like I haven't posted on Instagram in like 2 years. Well, not like posts, like
Right.
not stories. You know what I mean?
That's a
Like,
smart
I haven't posted
move.
on Instagram in 2 years. You know, I used to post every single day, do my thing. But now I only want to post if it's a magic video. If it's not a magic video, I don't want to fucking post. I don't want to.
Right, you get tired of these things. Also,
Yeah.
it's a job.
Yeah.
Like social media to promote it's a job. Like I really haven't even posted anything on mine since I want to say July. Or
Christmas
June.
Day was my last, and that was a reposting of my guitar video for last Christmas.
See, there you go. So that's why I'm like I don't care for social media as much anymore as it is, but it is the platform to do what I feel like you need to do,
Yeah.
or at least have someone do it for you, right? Because I do believe that you will be something bigger if we just do this correctly from the beginning. And this is why I wanted to do the introduction to Andrew. Now, for you, we talked about your overall vision. Like in the next, this is the typical question. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years?
Magic.
And you're gonna say magic, right? Whoa, that's pretty profound, right? But what are you doing in magic? Are you teaching it? Are you performing it somewhere? Are you specialized in something of it? Or are you okay with the daily grind of just going to, like we said, the restaurants, the party events, and just doing that? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? Do you want to be famous? Do you just want to be the guy that does the magic tricks on the side? Do you want to be in movies? Do you want a documentary about your life? I think that would actually be pretty cool.
Thanks.
We get someone to play you. I don't know.
Like
Jesse
him?
Eisenberg.
I want to be bigger than I am now.
Okay.
You know, like, I don't know.
How big do you think you are right now?
It was about 5'9".
168
Not big,
pounds.
not big at all.
Not big at all.
No.
So regardless, that's gonna.
If you do magic,
Well, if
in
you think
New
about it,
York-
it's like he rattled off a whole bunch of fairly high profile stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't know his name.
right.
yeah.
So it's like, do you want to continue to do the high profile stuff and have no one know you, or
That's
start
a
to have
very
your-
good
You know what I mean?
point. You know what I mean? I don't know. Either way, I'm happy.
I like those guys. I tend to like those guys more though.
The back
Yeah.
guys, right?
Yeah, because
You can,
everyone
like,
who
walk the
tends to
streets.
take the spotlight, you know their name, they've got some talent, whatever. This is like in any field, right? But usually I feel like the guys behind the scenes tend to make all the wheels work.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Julius Dean?
No.
Julius Dean? Never heard of him?
Nope.
He's a magician on Instagram, and he's got 7 million followers.
What?
Yeah. So it was 2018, and I was head over heels for this chick, and I wanted to score a free vacation for me and her. So I sent a DM to this guy, and I was like, yo, send us on vacation. I'll consult for you for free. He doesn't get back to me for 6 months. And then 6 months later, I'm in a McDonald's on like 42nd Street, and he hits me up, and he's like, what's your number? He says, send me a list of 30 tricks for people that are high. And I'm like, okay. I sent him a 10-page breakdown of like, this is the trick, this is the angle, this is what you need to pull it off, this is whatever. I come to find out he didn't even read it, but he saw how much work I did, and he flew me out to Miami to go to Ultra the next day.
Wow.
So I was in Ultra, best weekend of my life. I worked with Julius for about half a year in 2018. Yeah, half a year in 2018. We went to Miami, went to Colorado, went to London, Paris, Italy, and Belgium, filming magic behind the scenes, coming up with all his tricks.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool. So yeah, I like being behind the scene.
That's pretty insane how you've traveled that much and you were homeless at the same time. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. that's pretty unique.
Pretty sick, right?
Oh, so that's an awesome story to live up to. Like,
Did
you
he,
gotta
pay,
share.
did he pay you for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, it's things like that. That's awesome to inspire other kids or other people that are up and coming. And again, I'm big on education and teaching people to become better people at what their craft is or what their strengths are. So that's my angle that I'm seeing, not just for you to build. Again, I keep saying you as the brand. Like, what are we going to do with you? Like, what do we want to do with you? And I see different angles because, again, he turns 30 in March. It's not even 30 yet. I'm like, bro, you have your entire life. Like, we're in our 40s and we're just like, okay, we're just getting started.
Yeah.
The fact that you could just get started
And then just get started again.
again, right? Right? Just have a whole entire career for the next 10 years and then all of a sudden start something completely different. Maybe become a personal trainer because there's a lot of money in that. But, yeah, man, like I just find it unique that what is it that you want to do? And like you said, you like behind the scenes things. So we're trying to develop that. So you don't want to be in the spotlight.
I do.
I'm so confused.
I mean, I do both. I mean,
You'll do both. Okay.
Can I ask you, so is there anything?
That is
you
Andrew,
might-
by the way.
Is there anything that you might have done different if you can go back? 'Cause it's a really cool opportunity, act of generosity. It brings you this awesome weekend. If you could go back, would you have structured maybe the business of it differently or approached it differently?
You're talking about that, like if I could go back to that specific event, that specific situation with the guy I was working for. Or are you talking about if I could go back in general?
Well, that one opportunity where
Julius
you went to
Dean.
Miami,
Yeah, yeah.
and then of course you had a few others that seemed pretty significant. So any one of those, like, is there anything? Because you're here now.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice background, you know.
If I could go back, I would have put a camera with me the whole time. I would have had a camera attached to my hand like this the entire time. that's my biggest regret.
That's
is that,
definitely our school of thinking for sure.
you know, my biggest regret is that I didn't have a camera like this the entire time. But as far as making the connections that I made and doing all that, I really wouldn't have changed much. But yeah, I would have had a camera rolling the whole time. Yeah, man.
You know, it's funny. This morning I was talking to James, my
Yeah, the guy.
client.
Yeah, client.
James is he's now the head stunt coordinator for the Equalizer, and he's Queen Latifah's martial arts trainer.
Nice.
And I was asking him this morning. I was like, dude, do you still take private instruction at all? He's like, that's all I used to do. I was like, what was your rate? He's like, $500 an hour. I was like, shit. And I was like, did you take that into consideration when you were structuring your contract for the last season of the Equalizer and this? He's like, nope. I thought only what my value would be for the week. So I'm going to take a stab. Say he's looking at anywhere between 5 to 7 a week, like minimum. And I feel like that's where we need to start thinking about, or you would need to think about, like, what am I worth to whatever you're adding your expertise to. Now, what am I worth? What am I adding to this?
Yeah.
Are you big on the business side of this, or do you just like the talent part?
Talent part.
The talent part.
Yeah.
So I don't
Which
wanna
is
say,
good.
right? Yeah, it's fine. There's certain things that you don't.
It allows you to be creative without
that's a big
getting
part.
bogged down with like the other stuff that might not be your strength.
That's my big thing is if it's not your strength, we got to find the right people to make that part, so you don't have to worry about that. So you could actually make it true. You could make it strong. You could actually be that person that, again, the talent. That's all that it is, right? Trust someone that's going to be able to help you develop the business side of things, and that was like the ultimate question. It's like what can we do to help you build this whole thing, right? And I feel like just being on this, yeah, we're not a Joe Rogan podcast, right? But we are getting out there enough, right? At this point, we have a niche market, but we obviously can expand this market. I mean, at first we weren't even gonna have females on this, and then we did have females on it, and people loved it, right? That's the whole thing.
Change your demographic.
Yeah, we expanded on.
Popular episodes.
And now I was like, do I want anyone under the age of 35? I just didn't want to at first, but now it's just like,
How come?
because again, it was based on midlife crisis, right? And on average, it's between the ages of 37 to 50 that most men go through this midlife crisis.
Oh, I'm
situation.
definitely having a midlife crisis.
You're not even there yet. Trust me, man. You're going through hard times, but it's different, right? But your midlife crisis is just different. Like I feel like then that means you're gonna die like at 60, right? But that's not where we gotta go with it. You have definitely gone through hard times, and I respect you for that. That's huge. I'm like, dude, man, you went to California for a girl. I was like, you didn't get like a real job or something.
No.
But
Think about it. Like I understand what you're saying, but for someone like Nick, how old were you when you're like, I'm gonna do magic?
I was
14.
14.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
different.
fuck. What the fuck was I doing before? I was like just learning to play guitar. I was trying to find like cool flannel shirts to wear because like that was a thing you did in the 90s, right? I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing other than this. So, you know, he's had a good 15 years doing something he loves.
Yeah, you've been doing consistent, like you said, every day you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's at a point where some people who are our age,
Yeah.
like, just get to. So it's, you know, you start to think about like, what does this mean to my life? And like, where do I want to take it? Because clearly he still wants to take it somewhere. 'Cause it's not like he's not slowing down. He's not stopping. But you do take a moment to sit back and be like, all right, what's next? So like, this could very well be his midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Just figuring out
Absolutely.
which direction he's going to go in next.
And I just feel like that's
And sometimes if he figures that out now and starts to go and continues to feel further fulfilled by what he's doing, it's like those decisions that you struggled with, he may not struggle with.
Right.
Because he's made the hard decisions now. You know what I
absolutely,
mean?
absolutely. Yeah, and then again, that's where I was going with. That's why I structured it. That's why I wanted only no one under the age of 35. Right. I don't mention my personal life as much, right? I don't want to use names and stuff like that. I personally want to keep that stuff out of here. But because we have evolved and have branched off, and we got a lot of content going on, I've decided that I'm like, hey, let's just throw something out there. Let's, we have Cliff. Cliff's 26 years old. He's behind the scenes, and the things that he's gotten under his belt at this point, just meeting Andrew, Dave, and just putting this whole thing together. Like, I think that he now has a unique skill set that no one else has.
I'm older than you.
What are you trying to say about him? That's messed up. He said you're old looking.
Not that you're old looking.
That you're very young looking?
That you're very mature for your age. You know what I mean? Like,
I like the way Cliff doesn't say a word.
You're like
Your hand gestures on a podcast.
You're like a man.
That's from behind the scenes.
You're very manly.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah. He said you're the big D. That's all it is.
If you hear any rustling, that's his beard. His whiskers rubbing against the
I guess the microphone. He's mouthing it a little bit much. But yeah, so again, I mean, that's why I did it. That's why I wanted to do it that way. But it's clearly has grown organically to something a little bit bigger, better.
Also, think about how many kids who were in there. Did you go to college?
I did.
Did you finish?
No.
Okay, good.
Doesn't matter.
How many kids come out
matter.
of college with insurmountable debt, not knowing exactly what they're doing, where they're going.
Right.
So
Cliff.
they kind of just do whatever, which in turn could lead them down to like that midlife crisis, 38 to 45, right?
Yeah.
But if people can hear stories like Nick's, it's like I can go do the
Yeah.
thing that everyone says might be stupid or I don't have enough confidence in because this guy did it. So it's like the age doesn't necessarily, I mean, I totally get it, but sometimes it's more, what's the experience at whatever the age is and what did they do with it?
Yeah. No, I totally agree with the experience part. It's where that's why it baffled me. You have so much experience in life. Like you've lived on the road.
Yeah.
Like that's brutal. Like I remember I openly admitted that I was homeless for 8 months living in my car in New York City. My parents
That
weren't
sucks.
around, and it was brutal. It was brutal. I
Man,
would
I
sleep
don't
in
like
the office.
walking from my car to the fucking gym in this cold.
That's how I used a
Homeless
lot
guys.
of gas.
Crazy.
You kept the
It's
car on
insane.
for how long, or I would go to the office of the gym, sneak in because we weren't allowed in after hours. I would sleep on the floor of the office, and just so for me, I was like, oh, I got a shower. That was great. I had a shower, but I had to realize certain things about myself at that point. I'm like, this is dumb. I got to suck it up. I had to wait for my parents to come back from the Philippines because they weren't around. So I had nothing. I didn't want to go ask for help at all. I should have asked for some sort of help. I just didn't. And for you, the fact that you've gone through all that stuff and you survived, and you went back to your parents' house, right? That's what I ended up doing also. Now you know the value of certain things.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing. Like, hey, like Andrew was saying, but when we were meeting before this, he's like, "So you live at home? That's so awesome." It's like, dude, suck it up, bro. Just use it as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Save up the type of money that you need. We were talking about investing in these props, and I'm just like, all right, like how much money are we looking at? Like, can I get some funding together? Not that I have money right now because I'm broke, but can I find you the money? Probably can, right? We could probably do this if it's done the right way, right? Which is why I wanted to present this opportunity and also bring you aboard. But like, hey, listen, man, again, my biggest thing is helping other people become better people, right? If you love what you do, let's just get you to that point. That's what I want to do, right? I want to make sure that we can help you catapult to where you want to be, and that's what just feels good to me. I don't know. That's just weird. Does it sound weird to you?
No. Did you like working for Phantasma, putting
Loved
kids
it.
together? Do they still is there distribution happening at all with them?
Yeah.
There is? Okay.
Would
I
you
was gonna
do
say,
your own?
I was going to say, if there wasn't, how do you get the rights and create new kits for a whole new generation of young magic folks?
It's a great question.
Now, what if we don't need the rights? What if you just start your own?
You could.
Like, why wouldn't we?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, but at the same time, if
That's a branded
if
product,
Phantasma still exists in some capacity
Yeah.
and those relationships of distribution and
I had my
manufacture
own.
still exist.
I had my own Nick Padilla magic kit.
Do you?
Did you have your picture on it, right?
Yeah.
I remember you showed me a photograph of that.
Yeah.
I want that magic kit.
Yeah. Can we find it? Is it on eBay?
No,
No?
nah,
Do you have any left?
nah.
No? You didn't
Or
save one?
something as simple as how would you, whatever your most popular products were, how do you make each one of those different and better at the same time? Not necessarily asking for an answer, but
Yeah.
if that was one thing you wanted, like, how do I make this a little bit different than what's already
Yeah.
there?
Have you thought about the business side of things yet, or do you just think about magic? You just want to show people magic?
I just want to show people magic.
See, yeah. So that's another big thing. It's like, all right, well, how do we steer you, right? Yeah. Again, you're the talent. how do we just build this, man?
Being in the back and doing all the back work and everything, like, it was cool, but part of me was just like, this should fucking be me, like, you know what I mean?
Did you ever feel not jealous or?
Not jealous, more like mad at myself. It's like people I've worked for, I know that I could do things differently. I'm not going to say better, but I could do things differently and, like, I don't know, you know?
Yeah. So if you can do it differently, I would say just do it better. But
Yeah.
if you do things differently, you have time.
Yeah.
You have so much time.
What about doing the magic for people is exciting for you? Like, what does it feel like to do a trick where either adults are like, oh, it's fucking great, or even a kid is like, oh my God, like what is it, how does it make you feel?
When you give somebody an experience that they've never had before, it's very, very cool. And it's very cool to see somebody go from one person when you meet them to finding out you do magic, you show them a magic trick, and now they're a completely different person. You know what I mean? Like, I've done tricks for biker dudes that turn out to be like little kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could go anywhere I want. And because I do magic, like, I could go to the Hood, I could go to the Ritz-Carlton, I could.
So then what do you think, and I'm just guessing, what do you think stops you from getting that on a really big level, being the guy in the spotlight?
A matter of, I don't know, what stops me?
Yeah.
Like,
Like like you said, you'll watch someone maybe do something you showed them, and you're like, that could be me.
traction and
Like-
leverage over years and years of getting stuff on film.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, again, if I could turn back 5 years, I would have had a camera on me the entire time.
Okay.
You know? Just putting more content out there, more content out there, more content out there. Magic on, like, if you don't film it, it's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can make money. You can make,
For the time.
Yeah.
At the very instant, you'll make money for that hour.
you make money.
make
You do your thing. But as far as people knowing who you are, people remembering your name, people, you getting any type of respect among the community of people that are around the world versus just the people that you know. Like, anybody that came to the magic shop knows me, but 100,000 people, more people could have known me if I was filming it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. At this very moment, besides from the two that we've mentioned, Chris, what's his name, and
Blaine.
David Blaine,
Yeah.
right? Who are the other guys out there right now that we could find instantly? Because I don't know anyone else. Do you know anyone else? I don't know anyone else that does magic on the streets. I don't. I really
Well,
don't.
I just looked up the Julius Dean guy. The first thing in his bio just says artist.
Yeah.
And then I think magic is second or third.
Oh.
Or magician is second or third.
Right.
Not that it matters, but however he sees himself as
But
an
again,
artist.
you didn't know him prior to any of this, right? So who out there right now is someone that you can compare your skill set to that anyone else would know?
That anyone else would know? Nobody.
The average Joe, right? So right now, this very moment, you are the talent. You are the guy, right? You said if you could go back, you'd have a camera with you everywhere you go. All right? Now we put a camera on you. Go back and do those same tricks again. We go back, we find those, not even the same people, same scenarios, same situation, new people. It's gonna be new experience for new people, right? And we just happen to have the camera in front of us.
Yeah.
And that's basically where I think that you would want to go with that, because I think that's, again, you say it's regretful, but I think it's an opportunity at this point, because now we can build upon that, because now you know what you needed. Now we know, dude, let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's just get your iPhone out, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even matter. And you can be that next guy. Again, you say, that should have been me. I'm better than that guy. Just say, who cares? I'm better than that guy. All right. You let's just make you better than that guy at this point, right? Make you the center of this thing. I think that's where I personally want to see that happen for you.
Thank you.
I just think that's where you have to go.
Plus, he has a bit of a resume that it's like I have
Yeah,
done.
you
I have done
these
stuff.
things. Yeah.
So
You
I'm
could
not
watch
just
TV shows. Those are my hands, right?
I'm not just stepping out of the dark over here.
Yeah. Like you're not a nobody.
Pretty significant.
Right?
Yeah.
Pretty impressed, yeah.
Thanks, man.
Those are pretty strong things you've done.
Can I ask you something?
Who, me or him?
Both of you.
Oh.
If I, no, not if I, what would you,
$8,000.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, are we looking for a dollar amount?
is there anything that comes to mind when I say magic publicity stunt? Is there anything that comes to mind that somebody's done before, like David Copperfield making the fucking Statue of Liberty vanish, stuff like that?
It's all mirrors.
Great. But if there was one magic thing that happened in your lifetime that you saw, like Blaine doing the balloon thing and holding his breath underwater in the bubble, and you know what I mean? Is there anything that comes to mind?
The most impressive thing that I saw Blaine do in one of his specials was when he was in Harrison Ford's house. And he
Harrison Ford said, "Get out."
He's like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, I remember
When he
that.
took the card, he's like, here, and he cut open the orange, and his card was in the orange. What?
Can you do that?
I could.
Yeah. Okay. See, so
Do you know why Blaine is successful? Because he blurs the line between illusion and reality. He'll do a bunch of real shit, like the frog thing, real.
right. He
He'll-
taught himself.
yeah.
He practices that, right?
The
He
frog.
literally holds it in his abdomen.
While I'm impressed with that,
But that's-
I know that's just buckling down and fucking training your ass
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. But if you do a bunch of stunts like that, and then in between all that, you're doing magic tricks and whatnot, the audience doesn't know what's real and what's not. You know? That's my theory as to why Blaine is so
So
successful.
do you think you'd be able to do that realistic stuff?
Yeah, some of it.
Swallow a couple frogs?
I've thought about it.
Yeah.
I really want to do something with a goldfish.
Swallow a couple goldfish and bring them
All
back
those
up?
are so tasty, those crackers. I love them.
Ah, yeah.
That'd be a good trick.
That's a good, that,
Imagine you ate goldfish and crackers and then you brought up regular goldfish.
there we go. That's it.
It's
That's what-
so funny that you're bringing
Or
this
the
up.
opposite way, you eat real goldfish and then you bring up like the crackers.
Either way.
There's whole.
There's a
That'd be
guy.
pretty sick.
There's a guy in Florida
Just did it the other day.
named Michael Tricks that has a trick where he takes goldfish crackers, he eats them, and then he takes dental floss and he puts it in his mouth, and then he pulls out the fucking goldfish crackers on the thing, and then he puts it down, and then he, as a kicker,
brings up a real
brings
goldfish.
up a goldfish. Yeah. And I saw this a week ago when I was just researching magic tricks, and it's really funny that you bring that up.
I don't pay attention to this.
Who is that guy?
His name is Michael Tricks, and I've met him before, and I was too young to appreciate how cool he was.
Is he older?
Yeah.
Like us older or older?
He's got you by like 15 years, I'd say.
All right, good.
All right, that's cool.
15 minutes.
Yeah. He's past his midlife crisis situation. But, yeah, so things like that put you in the forefront. That's what we got to do. And I just love the fact that you have this passion 15 years later.
Yeah.
That's unique. A lot of people that, you know, with your resume, like you said, with his resume, at this point, if you didn't make something happen, like, dude, most people will find something else to do. They just settle in life. Let's not settle. Let's just do it. Like, figure out follow you around with the camera and just laugh at everything that happens. All your best. Like, make yourself float. That's the one I want to talk about. How David Blaine made himself float.
Magic.
Like an elevator?
$15 for the
Yeah.
at a certain angle.
It was at a certain angle. I just happened to see your other foot. $15 to stand on your tippy toes.
I haven't seen anybody perform the Balducci levitation in years, and you made my night. That was awesome, bro.
Can you do it?
The Balducci levitation.
But with both feet.
I'm gonna teach you something later. I want to. Not right now. But I'll teach you.
That was good. I was impressed. I thought he was gonna fix something over there. He went, he levitated himself.
Yeah,
that
he
was
fixed his
sick.
knife.
I was like, that's unique right there.
Like you said, there's not only one magician in the room.
He showed me the video of him talking about a magician the other day. I was like, what is this video about? And he's like talking. You saw it, right?
No.
He posted it on. You sent it to both of
Yeah,
us.
it was a story about a teenager, and he was a weird teenager.
Oh, I didn't get to look at it. I was driving when it came through.
Oh yeah.
What was the story about?
But the point was, it was this teenager who was different. He didn't fit in, and we were at a Sweet 16, and he didn't want to go with the rest of the teenagers. He wanted to be with his. He was sitting at the same table as us with his parents and his little brother, and he wanted to be there. And he was clearly different, and I liked that. So I was the same type of kid.
Yeah.
So we did a trick. And
Nice.
A whole bunch of them. Yeah, it's a longer story. I'll share the video, but the whole point was the fact that there is something that makes the magicians in us or amongst us different. And so do you find that you were that way early on? Like you said 6, 10, and 14, those were critical times in your life.
Yeah.
But you fit in high school in a way because of it. So was there anything in between that made you feel, man, I'm different, but you embraced it or ran from it?
I'm a weirdo, you know? Like, I'm a total weirdo. I've always been a weirdo. Like, finding magic was the best thing that ever happened to me because, you know, I could fit in wherever because I was doing magic. But I really didn't do anything other than that before I really started going hard with magic. Like, I really didn't do it. I was that kid sitting with his parents, you know? Yeah.
If it's not magic, what's like your second passion in life then? Do you have one?
No.
What do you like to do outside of magic? Like if you're not doing magic, you're eating something special. You were working out at one point, right?
Yeah, that was big. No, it's magic. That's it.
No. So if there's no magic, you're nobody.
Yeah.
Wow.
I ain't
Okay.
shit without magic.
One way to frame it, I guess.
No, this is just realistic and just a random question. All right, cool. Well, yeah. Nah, so that was.
Are
a
there
really good
things you
question.
want to get better at?
Yeah,
There's
that was
certain
another
skills you're like, I need to get to that level.
Magic-wise?
Yeah.
Or? Yeah. Yeah. There's guys that blow me out of the water with cards.
Okay.
It's weird. I don't care about magicians. I feel like a lot of magicians are so really, really concerned with the opinion of other magicians, but you're not doing magic for other magicians.
No.
Like, there's two types of magicians. There's magicians that want to do magic for other magicians, and there's magicians that do magic for laymen, and laymen have no idea either way. You know what I'm saying? So there are things that I want to get better at, but there are things that a lot of magicians will do that I see no point into why you're putting a month's worth of effort into one move that you're only going to show other magicians. You know what I mean?
Because they want to impress other magicians.
Yeah. You know
If
what
you
I
ever
mean?
get a chance, go look at, I forget what season it is, an old X-Files episode called The Great Malini.
Cool.
It kind of outlines exactly what you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
The Great Malini?
Yep.
How do you remember that?
Because that's one of the greatest TV shows ever.
The original X-Files.
Yeah, there's only one.
Well,
You know,
then there's the newest version, but it's the same people.
It's the
obviously.
same
Scully,
people.
Yeah, it is. That's all it is. The Great Malini X-Files with Sully and
Scully.
Scully.
Oh,
Ooh, my bad.
broke my heart.
You ever heard of Max Malini?
No.
He's an
Okay.
old magician. He was famous.
Although,
for-
you know what? It's hard to remember, but his name was based on, in the show, they do mention that they based the name on a real magician from way back. So that,
Max Malini.
yeah, maybe.
He had a hat. It was at dinner, and he said to the guy, "Pick up the hat." Guy picks up the hat, puts it down. Said to the guy, "Pick up the hat." Picks up the hat, puts it down. Reaches over, lifts up the hat, and there's a fucking block of ice underneath the hat. That's my favorite Malini story. Yeah, I want to do that. That I would spend hours working on. But there's some things in magic that I find no point in working on doing. You could show it to somebody and it's not worth the time and effort it takes to get that move down. A lot of magicians want to learn every single thing. You know what I mean? You don't have to.
I feel if you're going to put the time into something, I would want it to be where you can just walk into a room with any deck of cards or whatever you need and just do it.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to be like, you need the perfect setup.
Yeah.
Because the perfect setup's only going to happen, like you're in control of it. So
Right.
I think it makes the audience more skeptical instead of just being like, hey, I'm here, check this out. Oh, who's got something I can use? Oh, you? Come here.
And that's a lot like with magic on TV. Like if you're doing magic on TV or filming magic, yeah.
Set up the whole thing.
Set up the whole thing, put all that time and effort into it, do your thing, you're going to get it on film once, you're never going to do it again. You know? But if it's something that, like, there's a difference between magicians on TV and magicians that work, like working magicians, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Doing the magic for yourself, I know we were talking to Andrew about this also. Are you willing, is this something that you would want to pass down to someone, educate other up-and-coming magicians, show them how to do it the right way, or whatever it may be? Do you mind I know you said you wouldn't mind teaching certain things, but even the deeper stuff, is that something you would actually look into doing in the future?
Yeah.
And just like maybe your own magic clinic?
Yeah.
Those things like that?
Well, like I used
Not to give away,
No, yeah,
tricks of the trade,
the
but
kids
also-
that would come into the magic shop, I was like that for them. You know what I mean? They
Okay.
would show me all sorts of shit. I'd tell them what's good, what's bad, point out different things that they were doing, tell them if they're flashing or not. You know?
Remember the show? What was the show where they would break they would show the magician,
The masked magician.
the masked magician, right?
Oh,
right,
yeah.
right.
Remember that guy?
Yeah. So like, I mean, that obviously just open everyone's eyes to like, wow, you're not the devil, blah blah blah, right?
I got very mixed feelings about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Part of me is like, fuck that guy.
I'm like
know
that all
what
the
I
time.
Oh, because what did he do to you?
He's revealed all the magic tricks.
Hey,
So
come up with new ones. No, I'm just kidding. Right?
that's the thing.
Hey, you can only do so many.
No, but a lot of the tricks he was revealing were very old methods and whatnot.
Okay.
So it does push the bar, raise the bar, I guess you could say. You got to come up with new ones,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Start swallowing frogs.
yeah.
What was another Blaine trick he did? He was outside a restaurant or something and, pick the card. Doesn't pick it. Then he just throws the cards against the glass.
Oh, yeah.
And the card is on the inside of the glass.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
The fact that he knows how to do that. I was just like,
Bring it, show it.
How do you do that?
No, you can't. That's part of the whole thing.
I know.
I don't want to know.
I know.
So I'm
I
not
li-
going to sit and do it. It's fucking impossible.
I like being the spectator. Like, I don't want to know those magic tricks because I want to be. I like that part. Like,
I want to the stuff I know. I want to know. I don't know that. I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be
Exactly.
entertained.
I want to be entertained at that point. Like, no offense to David Blaine, but him, conditioning himself to stand in a block of ice forever how long, or laying underground for how long.
Every other person who tries it ends up on the 10 o'clock news.
Right, and then just like, well, it took him like
Found
2
dead.
years, 2 years to
Frostbite.
condition himself. Yeah, to stand on a block of ice or whatever it is, or pee on himself for 2 days straight, whatever it is. Like, that's not magic to me. That's some good conditioning. Imagine you put yourself that much stuff into physical fitness.
To
That'd
be
something.
fair, there is a certain degree, I think, to Nick's point, sometimes you're working on a particular move or trick for like a month. I mean, it's the same type of mental
Oh, yeah.
toughness to sit and be like, I'm going to expose myself to this for however long it takes to do that. So the skill set in terms of the mental fortitude to do it,
Right.
I think still lends itself to be, it's in the same boat.
No, definitely, because it does take practice.
The payoff for the spectator is different. depends
Right,
on what
that's
you
my
want.
whole thing. I'm like, I don't find him floating around with the hot air balloon for like however far he went. That wasn't very impressive because he just conditioned himself to strap himself to a bunch of balloons.
Yeah.
Like I was like, ooh, this wasn't the greatest trick. And the buildup was just, to me, again, this is me. Like it takes a lot to impress me, and the fact that your sleight of hand directly to my face impressed me. I go, that's good. Floating around, no, not so much. Dropping into bunch of boxes, not so much. That didn't mean anything to me. But moving forward, so we dove deep into this whole thing as to where you want to go, what we want to do, what we think we can do, right? We realized that in the business part that this is clearly not your biggest forte, right? You don't even want to. You want to be part of it. You actually have to know your numbers, right? Everyone wants to be able to do that. And what would be your next step besides the stuff that we talked about? You are willing to educate others on how to develop this or go into magic also, and you are also willing to open up, do your own magic kits, right? I think that's cool because that's a huge. I'm thinking from the business side. There's so many things that we could take in different directions, right? I think bringing back your picture on your magic kit again would be unique. I mean, that's cool. Bring it back, right? Then we could sell it to Pawn Stars, whatever it may be.
I would like to see him go back to Toy Fair.
Yeah, no, listen, a bunch of. I just think that the next step, a big thing, is just putting some sort of tricks on video. I'm like, just keep it very basic right now. Just again, walk the streets, man. Walk the
Yo,
streets.
I want to get something on video here before we close it out.
So we got some time, right? We got a couple of 20 minutes. So yeah, why don't you show them a couple of good things? Can we bring the camera a little closer to do a trick or two? Well,
If
is
you
it
can,
too
I'll
much?
just,
If
if you can, I'll just get it on my phone. Oh, he's got it.
We got 5
5 minutes,
to 10.
10.
We recorded this one.
Do you gamble?
Ooh.
Yes, he does.
No, I don't.
He stopped. He just won $500 the other day.
I told you I have like New Year's resolutions. My New Year's resolution
For this year was no gambling.
No gambling. I haven't gambled in 11 days.
Are you good? Are you good at it?
I would never cheat if that's
Okay.
what you're asking.
Well, I was curious if you're good at it, but is it against like magician code to
It would
do
be-
shit like that?
I know guys that like hustlers, like cheaters and
Yeah.
whatnot, and the idea of somebody breaking my hand because they catch me cheating,
Right.
I would never cheat, And it's just like not. I wouldn't do it. I'd feel bad. You know what I mean?
I get it. I like that.
Cool.
You ready?
I'm always ready. Have you seen these? Has he seen these?
I've seen a bunch of them before. I don't know if I've seen this one yet.
I don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
You want me to video for you?
Yeah. Let's go.
Cool. That was my finger.
Okay, that's the way to go.
We're gonna go
Yeah.
right here.
I knew a guy
You know a guy.
when I was living in the city. His name was Sam. He works as a bellhop across the street at the, the shop was here and the Hilton was here. So like every day I would go say what's up to Sam. So he's telling me a story about one day he's hanging out and in walk these 4 guys and they all look like kings. So he's hanging out and they're having a good time, but he wants to get a couple girls to hang out. They want to get a couple girls to hang out with. So they say, Sam, can you take a walk and find us a couple girls to hang out with? And he goes 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3, comes back and he says, I found you a couple brunettes and a couple redheads. And he's like, where'd you find the girls at? And he's like, I found them down the street at the 654 Club. And he's like, cool, we appreciate you and thank you for doing that for us. I want you to have a $2 tip. So he gives him a $2 tip. So they hang out and they're getting kind of bored and they want to get a poker game going. So they say, Sam, can you find us a couple poker buddies to play poker with? And he's like, again, I can't make any promises, but I'll see what I can do. He goes 1, 2, 3 blocks, comes back, and he says, I found you 4 guys, and they're all named Jack. He's like, where'd you find the guys at? And he's like, same place I found the girls, down at the 654 Club. And I say, Sam, you really are the man. Thank you so much. Here's another $2 tip for you. So they run into some bad luck, and they're out $40. So they say, Sam, can you take a walk and cash this $40 check for us? He says, I can't make any promises. I'll see what I can do. He comes, he takes one block, the bank was, and he said they didn't have any 20s, but I managed to get you 4 10s. Grab one real quick. He said, there's another $2 tip.
Son of a bitch.
They're getting kind of bored. They want to get out of there, but they want to get to know Sam better. So they say, Sam, how old are you? You look like you're 38. And he goes, you're close. I'm actually 39. He's like, where do you live? He's like, I live down at 13, 29 West 8th Street is where he lived, apparently. And they're like, you ever seen a good poker hand? You ever play poker? He's like, yeah, every day down at that 654 club I was telling you about. They're like, cool, you ever seen any good poker hands? And he's like, oh, yeah, you should have seen it the other day. This guy, Drew, came in. Drew had 3 7s and a pair of 8s. And that is
I don't know. I don't dig about cards.
Full house.
that's a full house. That's a full house, and he must have won. But the guy, John, came in. He had 3 aces and a pair of 9s, which is an even better full house. But this
Fuller house.
This incredibly attractive magician came in named Nick Padilla. He had a straight flush, and that is the story.
Wow.
Amazing. So good.
Thank you.
So good.
That
Love
was
it.
so good.
Real quick, while we still have time,
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Dave, take a card. Grab it. You got it? Put it back. I know this is it. That's not the end of the trick. That would be stupid. Push it into the deck. Push it out. It's
In the
no
card
longer
too?
there. It is right there. Take another card. You got it? You got it?
Mm-hmm.
I know this is it. That's not the cool part. If I shuffle all fancy like this, where do you think your card is right now? Be honest. Be honest.
At the very bottom. the
Most
last
people
card.
say top. Was that it?
No.
So it's not the bottom either.
No.
So it's not on the top and it's not on the bottom, so it has to be where?
I guess in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle. I'm going to take off about half, flip one half upside down, and shuffle half face up and half face down. Kind of like life. You got good days and bad days. They all get intertwined together. You got face up and face down. So if I push the deck together at this point, kind of like life, the deck is fucked. Count me at 3. 1, 2, 3. And now every single one fixes itself. Except for 1. Your king of spades, my friend.
Yep.
I want you to take another card.
Top the deck.
Yeah.
Doing 4.
You were asking. Does that mean we got 1 minute?
If this ends up in my pocket or something, I'll be-
No, it won't enter your pocket. It'll just be on the back of the phone. Nice to meet you, my friend.
All right. Well, on that note, on the closing, Nick,
where can people
yeah, where can we find you? What's your Instagram? Let's talk into the mic real quick.
My Instagram is at Nick Padilla Magic. NickPadilla Magic.
Do you have a
Nick
Facebook
Padilla.
also?
I do have a Facebook. Nick Padilla.
Okay. On that note, Nick, that was awesome. We truly appreciate you coming onto the podcast.
I appreciate
we
you
definitely
having me.
want to do some stuff with you. We'll follow up with you in the next couple of episodes. We'll see what we got going on. And on that note, we got to close out. So.
Did you shot with Bill Nye the Science Guy? Yeah. Put that one on the
You
resume.
didn't even put, yeah, I was saying.
Didn't even come up in the
National
conversation.
Geographic.
He did stuff on National Geographic. There's so much more to learn about Nick Padilla. It's insane. But
Ridiculous.
because we got to close out, Nick, thank you again. Say goodbye, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Have a good one.